Hello everyone, it's Lee here. How you doing for the Three Hammers? I hope you're good today. Just filming this on Monday morning. Still feeling very frustrated and actually quite angry about yesterday. Another weekend goes by. Let's put the most obvious thing to one side for a moment. It's another match where we've led late in a game and we can't see the game out for what would have been a great 3 points. I know there's obvious reasons why we didn't see the game out, and we'll get to that in a second. But, you know, offered me a point at 1:30 yesterday, it would have bit your hand off. Would have been a great result. Offered me a point when we were 1-0 down, definitely would have took a point. But when you manage to turn the game around against 10 men, you just got to see those games out. And as I said, I know there's a reason why we didn't. And actually we were looking okay, and then Mr. Jonathan Moss decided to add his name to the long list of officials that have done over West Ham this season. And this entire video, to probably to non-West Ham fans, but also to some West Ham fans, is going to seem incredibly bitter and feel like it's done in a way that sort of claret and blue blinkers, but it's not like that, I promise you. I'm looking at this purely at the facts. So Leicester took the lead in the 18th minute, which you'll know because you would have seen the match or Luke's review that went out on Sunday night. Do check it out if you haven't already. So they took the lead, and don't get me wrong, it was a fantastic goal. I think we had a corner or a free kick, it was cleared, and 3 passes later and Vardy stuck it away with a great finish. No problem with that, fantastic goal. You know, you don't mind going behind. Well, you do hate going behind, obviously, but when a goal's that good, it's not such a bad thing. So, and this is really where my anger started in the match. From that moment, they took the lead in the 18th minute, and from that moment onwards, the time wasting was just absolutely shocking. This is the Premier League leaders that at 1-0 up after 18 minutes are taking the best part of a minute to take every dead ball. So that's goal kicks, throw-ins, free kicks. Any time the ball wasn't in play and it was with Leicester, they were taking the best part of a minute. I was watching the clock from the moment that, for example, Kasper Schmeichel had the ball for a goal kick. It was taking him, you know, it ranged from 20, 30, 40, 50 seconds every time to put the ball down. Did this stupid little, like he's dusting away the turf, kicks his heels against the goalposts for whatever reason, and then finally takes the goal kick. So that was 50 seconds pretty much per dead ball. And this is the Premier League leaders. This is the team that are meant to be taking the Premier League by storm. It's not a good way to win the league, if you ask me. It's effective, don't get me wrong, but you know, when you look back over the years, and you know, the Arsenal Invincibles and the Man United teams that won it however many years in a row, they did it with good attacking quality football and they were worthy champions. Having seen Leicester yesterday, don't get me wrong, if they win the league then it's great, and it would have stopped Tottenham from winning it, which is obviously a good thing. But by doing it, by going 1-0 up, their game plan essentially yesterday was go 1-0 up, shut up shop, time waste every opportunity, see out the 1-0 victory, perhaps grab a second on the break. It's worked for them all season, and they've obviously got away with it. Secondly, the grappling on the corners. You know, every single time we were trying to get the ball in the box, they had players all over us. And don't get me wrong, we should have conceded a penalty towards the end with Ogbonna. He had his hands around Hoof's neck, but Robert Hoof is number one for doing that when he's defending. You know, it was non-stop in the game, and it was only a matter of time actually before the ref obviously gave a penalty to West Ham, which I thought Andy Carroll took really well. I wasn't sure I was going to take it actually. It looked like Emeneki wanted to take it. Probably, given how he's played recently, it's a good thing that he didn't. Andy Carroll took it. Really great penalty, fantastic. Then of course Aaron Cresswell popped up with one of it, if you sort of exclude Payet's free kicks, probably our goal of the season, I'd say. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant finish. So we're 2-1 up, a few minutes to go, and then the ref gives a penalty to Leicester. So there's a couple of things that I have to take issue with. Number one, it's just not a penalty. in a million years it is not a penalty. So you talk about refs needing goal line technology, which they've now got, of course, or you talk about video refs and things like that, which has worked fantastically well in other sports, and I think it would work well in football. But you didn't need a video ref yesterday to see that wasn't a penalty. It was just the most outrageous decision. I mean, I can't remember, was it Schlopp? I can't remember, I haven't watched it back, I'm too angry. But he just runs in to Andy Carroll. You could see it in the stands when we were there. You know, you could see that this wasn't a penalty. And, you know, every pundit has said it's not a penalty. I think even the most die-hard Leicester City fans can look at that and say it wasn't a penalty. It's just a really, really poor decision. And as I say, it wouldn't matter if you had a video ref. You shouldn't need video refs to make decisions like that, because it just wasn't a penalty. In a million years, it was one thing and one thing only. It was the ref trying to level it up because he wasn't sure if the penalty he gave us was right, and B, he knew that he missed the one where Bonner was obviously all over Robert Hoof. It was just such a poor decision, and it's the latest in a long, long line of poor decisions, which if they hadn't happened, then one, we would have been in the semi-finals of the Cup, because we probably would have seen that game at Old Trafford when Schweinsteiger took out Randolph, which was essentially an assault, and wasn't called up on it. And secondly, we would be sitting comfortably in third place in the league. Probably, you know, we weren't playing well against Palace when Chiati was sent off, and obviously they got the equaliser, but that aside, we could have easily been up there in third place. And looking really good, and probably odds on for a Champions League place, given how fixtures for the rest of the season look quite favourable, really. So the other major issue I have is I've always mentioned about the time wasting. So Leicester, of course, got their goal, their penalty, which wasn't a penalty, but they obviously Yushoa scored it. They got that in the 94th minute, and the stoppage time happened because they were time wasting. So how is that fair? How is that fair in any way? That the reason the ref has to add on 4 minutes is because Leicester were doing all the time wasting from the moment they scored in the 18th minute all the way through to when we were leading in the 86th minute. They were time wasting, and the 4 minutes of stoppage time was because of that time wasting. It's just so frustrating. And I know it's the rules, but it's just not right, is it? That they were in a position where they managed to score an equaliser in a time that they got by cheating. It's just not right in the slightest, and it just makes me so angry that this is the way that this is the side that's going to go on and almost certainly now I think win the Premier League, especially if Tottenham lose tonight. It's just not right, and we should be sitting here now 3 points better off, clear of Liverpool, who can now overtake us, and we'll never hear the end of that one. It's just the mind boggles. It really does. It shouldn't be allowed to go on, but it does, and teams time waste all the time. You know, Schmeichel was the number one culprit, and it's just, you know, put aside all the other bad decisions in the game. Should Vardy have been sent off? Should we have been given a penalty? Should Payet, when he went in on 2 foot, should that been a red card? There's a few other sort of. It was a very stop-start game. It was a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong, but it was very stop-start. Just pure frustration, frankly, that one, the penalty was given, and two, that it was given in the time that was added on because Leicester were time wasting from the 18th minute. And you know what? Coming out the ground, their fans were moaning you wouldn't think they were top of the league. What, they're 8 points clear? Their fans were just moaning about the ref. For heaven's sakes, just enjoy the fact that you're top of the league, and you know, with hardly any games to go, you're probably going to win it. Why not enjoy it instead of just moaning about the ref? When in fact, apart from the one thing that he got wrong with Bonner and Hoof, every other decision in that game was correct. So it's just frustration, you know, pure frustration. We should, as I said, be sitting here 3 points better off than we were on Sunday morning, but we're not. We move on to Watford, which obviously Luke will put the preview out on. Hopefully they're going to name a weakened side. We're filming the podcast tomorrow night, so that will go out as usual on Wednesday. Check them all out. Check out West Ham Banter page on Facebook and Twitter. They've got a good competition running at the moment. Hello to all our new subscribers. Thank you very much. Watch our stuff. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments of this video what you thought of the referee's decision yesterday. Any people that know about ground staff and etc. One other thing that I saw yesterday was before the game, Leicester's ground staff were scattering what looked like sand across the pitch, which I've never seen before. I thought it was a bit strange, and they was only doing it at the end that Leicester were attacking, and I couldn't help but think it's because their tactic is basically ball over the top for Vardy to run onto, and I wondered if they were doing it to slow up the pitch so that the ball sort of hung and didn't roll off for goal kicks and things. Anyone who knows about that sort of stuff, let us know in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the ref. Was Carroll stupid for making the challenge? Well, I don't think he did make a challenge. Did the bloke run into him? It's a bad decision. I'll see you very soon. Have a good week. Let's hope we get 3 points on Wednesday. We need it, frankly. It's been a while since we've won a game now. A lot of draws. Credible draws, it should be said. But anyway, I'll see you soon. Cheers.